Alright, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get your windows to be transparent or opaque in Linux Mint. Reason being is because I haven't seen any tutorials online on how to do this. I spent like the better part of a week trying to figure out how to get this to work just because I wanted more of a glassy, sort of a pseudo arrow theme. And it just doesn't seem like it was really possible on Linux Mint with any sort of plugins or not plugins, sorry, extensions or anything. And just to show you, I am not running any extensions. Sorry, I have my mic like set up super unsturdy right now, so if I type too quickly, it'll fall down. But yeah, the only extension I'm running is Blur Cinnamon to get this thing transparent and blurred. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to get your windows to be transparent. So the way that this works is with this bash file, I guess. I had installed this from GitHub, and it seems like it was sort of a niche forum, went under the radar. I didn't really see a lot about it. Um, Essentially, the way that this works is it utilizes a built-in function in Linux that not a lot of people know about, apparently, where you can dim the opacity of your windows by bringing your cursor to the top and then using your scroll wheel to dim it. So, or to adjust the opacity, sorry. So the way that this works is it automates that whole function, I guess, to do it automatically, right? Automate it automatically. You get what I'm saying. And it also adds a little application to the startup application here. That'd be the Opacify Windows desktop. So at startup, it'll show the opacity. So let me run through these settings real quick before I go ahead and show you how to install it, because installation is really quick, and I think it's probably better if I show you the features really fast. If you want to just skip right to the installation, I'll try to put a timestamp in the video, or you can just skip forward. Once you see me open up this browser later in the video, that's when I'll be showing you how to get it installed. So the way that this works here is we have different parameters here, and these three are going to be the ones that you're going to want to focus on. I would leave the other 4 or 5 alone. For example, exclude opacity 100%. For excluded windows, full screen opacity 100%. So as you see here, this is transparent. If I bring it to a full screen, now it's not. I like that feature, so I'm going to keep that on. So let's mess with these real quick, so I'll show you how these work. Let's go with the default opacity. So this will really show you guys how this works. Let's put it to 50%. We'll save it. And then the only way that I have gotten this to update properly is by going to the startup applications and then forcing it to run. So hit it a few times. And so this explains this parameter here. So default opacity is the unfocused applications, right? So if you like that, you can put it that way. However, I'm not a big fan of this. I like a more uniform user experience. Some people might find this cool and find this interesting, find it helpful. I actually find it distracting and kind of also difficult to read on certain things. So I just like having a light, very minimal, what's the word I'm looking for, opacity on the windows. I just think it looks sleek. So we're going to put that back to 96. That's the sweet spot for me personally. Save that, run it. Now we're back in business. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to install this. Oh, quickly, also focus opacity. This is for the windows that are in focus, so the ones that you're on. I'm sure you guys are smart enough to figure out this yourself by playing around with these numbers. Just feel like pointing that out. So yeah, let me go ahead and show you how to install this and then how to edit the file so you can get your settings how you want it. So go ahead and go to the link that is in the description here. It's going to take you to a Linux Mint forum. And this is all very useful information here if you want to read through the forum. However, I found that this was sort of difficult for me to install using these GitHub links here. I don't know why. Maybe I was doing something wrong. I found it better to go to the actual GitHub link that's on the forum and do it from here. Now, there is a lot of scripts here on this GitHub page. So you're going to need to dig a little bit. And if you scroll down all the way to the bottom to Cinnamon Scripts, you will find it here under Opacify Windows. So the way that this is going to work is you're going to need to use your terminal. Now, if you're new to Linux, like I kind of am, or if you're just new to computers, terminal might be a little scary for you. Promise you, it is nothing to be scared about. Just go ahead and open that up and copy and paste everything that you see in here. Now, I'm not going to do it myself because I've already done it, and I don't really feel like installing it a second time or cloning it a second time, possibly messing up anything, and then having to open up Timeshift and revert back to an earlier save of my computer. I doubt that'll happen, but like I said, I'm fairly new to Linux. I don't want to test the wall. I don't want to test it. So the way that this will work is you're just going to go ahead and copy and paste these into the terminal and follow the prompts. Once it is installed properly, you're going to do this one by one, by the way, down the line. Once it is installed properly, you will have this file here installed in your home folder or home directory. And I'm not really sure what this does. I haven't touched it personally. I don't think you need to touch it, but it seems like it's essential for the actual implementation of this. Where you're going to go to edit the file is go to local, bin, and then open this up with a text editor, and that'll be where you have it. You might be asking yourself, how do I get it to the startup applications? It will be automatically applied, which is fantastic. So again, another thing that you don't have to do. All you need to do is just go into this folder here, open up this document, and mess with these parameters. You can also exclude certain applications. For example, I have Brave browser, which is my browser here, excluded. Reason being is because I just don't want opacity on my browser when I'm trying to do things. For example, if I'm watching a YouTube video, the YouTube video will be opaque or a little bit of opacity applied, and I'll see my background. I just find that distracting. So you can add any sort of applications here, and also, like, I guess, exclude type. So window types. But the only thing that I have on here is Brave browser, Google Chrome, Firefox. This is all the default stuff. I just added Brave because I actually quite like the opacity on most of my applications. Let's open up Spotify here. I believe it's going to open up my other window, so let's drag that over. And I like having a little bit of opacity on Spotify. Just think it looks nice, it looks sleek. It adds a whole new dimension. Like I said, sort of like a Fudiger arrow theme, I guess is what everybody calls that. But I do not like having it on my browser, so that's why I just added that into the document. So yeah, just edit that, save it, and it'll automatically apply during startup, and then you'll have your windows. If you don't see your opacity right away, like I said, the only way that I was able to sort of like force it to run is by going to startup applications and then clicking the run button, or you can just restart your computer and it'll be applied here. So that is the tutorial. I guess it was more of an explanation on how this works because I didn't really show you, but just put this into the terminal. I promise you it'll be fine. Follow the prompts. You're not going to mess up anything, and then it'll automatically install it for you. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I wish I had a tutorial on how to do this instead of me trying to figure this out from square one with absolutely no knowledge in how the terminal works. Would have been great to have this tutorial, so just figured I'd make it for someone else who's in my boat. And yeah, I hope it was helpful. Sorry that this was kind of long-winded. I just felt like I needed to go down the line and fully explain everything. But yeah, anyway, I will see you guys later.